I think this Wyvern got a few buffs. Let me look here. So the cooldown reduction on the Arctic Burn, Winter's Curse now does more damage, lower cooldown. Unfortunately, now it ends if there's no heroes or units in there, but it's still like one of the best team fight ults in the game. You're basically guaranteed to kill somebody. Now the radius has been increased too, so it's way easier to hit like bigger Winter's Curses. So we are seeing this hero getting picked more and more in pubs, and the win rate's really good. It's like a 56% win rate with a fairly high pick. So I think we'll probably see Winter Wyvern a lot. It's a really, really solid support pick. It's up there with Warlock. It's maybe not as broken as Warlock, but it's very close. It's like A tier for
Is
sure.
there any potential for like an ice type position 3 Wyvern? I personally love watching that, but I don't know if
I personally think no, because the way the new Winter's Curse works is that the it ends 2.5 seconds if there's nothing hitting, and so that build where you're just stunning and just doing damage yourself in the Winter's Curse is kind of gone. It's nerfed really heavily. So if there is a position 3 Wyvern, it'll be with like Ether Lens and Blink and effectively a position 5 from position 3.
Now a Legion Commander to come out now. It was interesting to see the Warlock come out so late here, but something that TOOBASED were able to snag up as a top meta 5 position. I think it's worth acknowledging as well. And what do you guys think moving forward? Is Black and Yellow always going to get this Techies respect ban? Because we did see Jube play it in the previous season, but now with Necrobook also being taken off the table, does that mean that this ban is just going to become more common?
Yes. It is a really good Techies patch, and I hate to say it. All of the tree spots, the fact that you can't send couriers into Roche, the fact that Necrobook is gone, the fact that Sentry range has gotten nerfed, although the Sentry cost has also decreased, but of course Techies himself will be buying Sentries, or I guess themselves will be buying Sentries. So yeah, this is like a must ban, I think. Techies has never been in a better place. There's so many buffs to this hero, and this is Jube's bread and butter.
I mean, that's a nice little thing to have in your back pocket. Just a hero that nobody else plays, that they have to ban. It just opens up the draft a lot, right?
For sure.
As we're going to see, I mean, 2 heroes that we thought were S tier in this patch in the early on, which is the Warlock and the PL. I mean, you do have overwhelming odds to deal with it. The Shard for LC is really strong because of the press the attack magic immunity, along with the magic immunity from Mr. Leon himself. So, and the fact that he can manage, I mean, the Shard itself it turns it into the 3 mana drain as well, right? So you can deal with PL illusions, at least to a degree.
Yeah,
to a degree.
They have answers
not
for
good
illusions.
enough.
They definitely have good answers for illusions. It's not too bad.
They have LC as well.
I don't think it's good. I think I legitimately like looking at just the Warlock and the PL. I think TOOBASED is. I don't even need to see the rest of the draft. I feel like just getting these 2 heroes together, and with the heroes that Black and Yellow have, I feel like TOOBASED is already just like winning this draft. It'd be so hard to play into the Warlock PL if they don't just lose by the time Warlock gets to like. By the time it gets to 20 minutes, like basically the moment PL picks up the Aghanim Shard and you're throwing these PL illusions that effectively are just versions of himself that do almost 100% damage in there with the Fatal Bonds, it like illusion clear doesn't work against PL anymore. This new PL is not about having a big massive illusions. It's about Lion walking into the fight, getting lanced, and taking 1,000 damage in under 2 seconds, and then just instantly dying. Same with the Wyvern. So it's I think TOOBASED just picked 2 of the most OP heroes on the patch, and people aren't respecting these heroes anywhere near enough just yet. And they
from TOOBASED side, they have. I mean, technically they have flexibility. Like Puck doesn't have to be the mid necessarily, but they're probably still looking for the offlane, is my guess. Although Puck can also play offlane. Tiny, I haven't seen Tiny offlane, and the fact that they've already picked a PL. We talked about the flexibility of Tiny basically being a position 1 or just a support. We've only seen support so far. But expecting that to just be a support still, sadly. Position 4.
Yeah, it is Flea, so I mean he's a Tiny specialist. So I would imagine with him on your team, I don't think Monkeys has been playing any Tiny offlane. I imagine he's still playing these like ranged offlaner heroes, the Death Prophets and Razors and so forth.
Yeah, which is what they are possibly looking for right now. This is, I imagine, the Monkeys hero to come out.
This is a really bad Batrider game, but I want to ask, is Batrider any good this patch, you think, just generally?
The win rate's higher. It's gone up, but I still think the creep nerf to the hero is something that he hasn't recovered from just yet. So I would say no, it's not good. but it's better. One more patch.
It is the DP.
Just goes
you
with
called
the DP.
It. All right.
It's a comfort hero. They got a pretty meta lineup. Not going to fault it. Two-base bring a full toolkit, a good team fight, and a pretty strong draft, I got to say.
Yeah, they cover everything. Like you said, they have tower push, they have burst, they have backliners that do some team fight, they have immense late game damage between the Warlock Fatal Bonds and the PL. They have the Puck coil for Aghanim's BKB piercing, Puck for like running around and fighting early game. I really like this 2-base draft. I feel like Black and Yellow needs to pick something super game changing here.
They need position 1 that can deal with PL illusions, at least to a degree, like a Mjolnir carrier or a Radiance carrier. Wraith King against PL feels pretty bad, but you could technically get Shard.
Yeah. It's the Envy
so you don't
hero,
have to worry
right?
about the mana burn.
So what's the Envy hero here? I mean, you got a
Needs
lot
to
of
deal
bands.
with the
Spectre. That used to be a classic, but it's banned.
Faceless Void is not bad. Oh, he goes for the Luna. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Very nice.
All right, we got to get quick thoughts on this. Take it quick. Suns fan, I'll start with you this time on the outside.
I'm going to go with simply 2-based for this game. But, Eternal Envy, the ultimate wild card, you never actually know what's going to happen. So excited to see this game regardless.
Yep, Jenkins.
2-based covers all of their bases. And they also have the 2 OP heroes that I don't think people are respecting anywhere near enough. And we're going to see that in this game.
All right. Well, that's the panel. Why don't we get real fast
me.
into a break? And when we come back, we've got Lyrical and Aui joining on the broadcast.
Welcome back, Dota fans. How the turntables have turned. We kicked PPD from the cast, and now we have Aui2000. How you doing, sir? Excited for the game?
Doing well. Pretty excited. I mean, new patch, big Eternal Envy return. Always happy to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting playing Luna this time. It sounded like the panel was a little bit surprised by the Luna pick. Do you like the decision to go for it? We mainly saw this hero being played in the support role before the patch drop.
So it's pretty much core only now because they took out the cast range talents from Dota. That's what made Luna viable as support. I was actually talking to Skitter, and we're saying how this PO hero is like a huge issue in Dota. Like this shard is completely broken. It's the best shard of the patch, and we're trying to find solutions for him. And one of the things we're looking at was just win rates in pubs, in the high member pubs. And Luna was actually the first or second best carry against Phantom Lancer, and we couldn't quite figure out why, because you can't Eclipse against Phantom Lancer, right? He has illusions. But something that we thought was that at some point you get Ridley farmed in Luna, you get the shard, and you're using this long range spell to cast out your attacks, and PL's using his long range spell to cast out his attacks. And combined with the fact that Luna should have a slightly better early game presence, we thought like maybe you can equal advantage that way and still compete in the late game.
Interesting.
Like, this PL hero is super cancer right now. Like, he's super strong.
Well, it's a scary one for sure. And I think that right now, too, you've got this situation where, people are trying to come up with solutions to it. Envy, definitely the type of person that has a lot of, actually got to hold that thought. 2-person Impale chase down onto Annihilate a little bit, but they're going to back out, and they took Fatal Bonds level 1.
Yeah, that's really good for Dire. Fatal Bonds is a super strong spell, but it's actually a 36-second cooldown. So him using it as a rune spawns means they don't have it right as soon as the lane starts. Also, he's versus Legion who can purge it. But basically how Fatal Bonds works is you need to use it right at the start of the lane before the creeps take damage. Because say like one creep dies, that's like 25% of the damage you would have dealt with Fatal Bonds already gone. So it's still on cooldown for 10 seconds as the lane meets.
Now this is a little bit unfortunate here. Is going to get it now, as one of the creeps will end up going down, as you mentioned. Might not even opt to use it. Could just wait for the next round of creeps to come in as well. As you can see, the early aggression, Zero taking that overwhelming odds early, and just a spam out lane so far from Black and Yellow down bottom.
Yeah, I think, because I'm thinking more about this PL hero. They actually have this new Alliance shard too, right? So you can keep your magic mill you do it, and you'll drain all the illusions. Every time it lances, you can just drain both of them. So they actually have the tools to deal with PL this game. Legion, Luna, and Lion. It's sort of an interesting dynamic we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool, right? Like, there's so much idea right now as you can see this pull back behind the tower by Flea. There's so much emphasis right now on trying to get these bans out as opposed to really trying to figure out what are the answers to the heroes instead. And it's cool to see Black and Yellow be willing to give up this PL with something that they think is an answer to it. And we'll see if it ends up working for them. As you know, a lot of pressure down their bottom, coming in from zero, just keeps on fatal bondsing them up, and has Shadow Word now. So I don't know, how are you feeling about this this sort of matchup that we're seeing down here?
I mean, that lane should be both of them farming. I think eventually LC can kick out PL, but Warlock is pretty strong this patch with the heal, and here he went for the Bastring, which means they're going to have a sustain advantage versus like the boots online. I think we should see PL pretty happy in this matchup at the end.
Okay. That'll be something to watch for sure, as Flea gets chased back again by Jubei playing on the
One
Wyvern.
thing is, top lane is rough for Radiant right now.
Yeah.
They have a double wave pushing in, which is like, Monkeys is going to get some CS here, but they're going to pressure pretty heavily with this top wave. I think that, like, Flea tried to go for the pull around, but he blocked the small camp by like trailing the creeps through it, and if you do that and you don't have over 325 MS, like you need boots or windlace, then you can't get the pull around between the tier 1 and tier 2. Like the creeps aren't going to meet properly, so they stop to hit you, and that's what happened. And then he didn't get the full wave, which meant Envy just free farmed the entire kept equilibrium, was able to build like a double wave, and now they're pressuring.
Yeah. Well, as you said, Monkeys is going to get some of the CS here, but definitely not the best timing there, as Flea is coming in again, just trying to block out this camp, or rather do it with his body, and that will mean no extra pull.
Envy has a 1-1-1 build, which tells me he's going to go for a super greedy build this game. I don't think he's going to be leveling up Eclipse or Beam.
Okay.
I don't like that style play, but it works a lot in some of these games, so...
It's fair enough. Yeah. It'll be interesting to watch how that goes, because, I mean, I guess what exactly are we looking for? Because some people might have not gotten to see that many games yet so far, gotten to play against the PL. Tell us a little bit about why this is so difficult to deal with.
So basically, he gets Diffusal, it's a buffed item, and then he buys Mantisaw, it's a buffed item, and he buys the Shard, which was already really good. And the Shard creates 2 illusions of PL that do 70% damage and create more illusion stuff. So what happened with PL before was like, this hero was pretty strong, but he did no damage.
Right.
But now the Shard is like, you have a spell that does 140% of your damage every hit, which is like a huge steroid for a carry. That's coming out on the also buff 15 talent. So he just received like 4 or 5 buffs that made this playstyle super strong. And he basically never has to go in. He's just chucking illusions at you. We saw a nice rune check from Yamsum there. He seems like he's going to the 4 row pretty nicely so far. And because of that, Puck didn't get a water rune. And it looks like Voice Bearer will get a little bit of advantage from that.
That's nice for him. Puck already off to a pretty good start there in terms of CS. They're actually dead even just about after this creep wave. And Annihilate's going to go for, you know, checking to see, I guess, if that rune was there. But simultaneously, the toss back over to the side on Jubei, keeping them away. It's been a pretty chill laning stage so far, but a slight lead for black and yellow. And I guess mainly it's just off the back of that, you know, play up top where the lane's been a little bit rough for them. With Envy getting a nice start on this Luna.
Yeah, Envy has a 1-2-1 now, so he's definitely powering for that heavy farm build. I don't know the math on it. I feel like 1-1-2 is better if you want to farm faster, just because, ooh, bottom lane.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh, missed that, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. And they are able to take him down. So power farming is the route to go for Envy in this game, you think? That's what he's planning on doing.
I mean, so when you're trying to outscale someone, I think a lot... Oh, TP top line, he cancels though. Or
oh, they
mana.
get him. Oh, that's unfortunate.
And that's big for PL, because what happened was PL just died, so he's going to be under pressure in this lane, but they made this play top, and they forced a Lion TPL, which, honestly, if I was this Lion, it's not first blood, I think you're just supposed to let top die, so you can keep pressure on this PL. Like, this PL, he was supposed to have a decent lane, but, like, they outplayed the lane, right? So they got this big advantage. By TPing top, you remove all this pressure, like, sort of voluntarily.
Yeah, that's a good point. Flea is going to almost get out of there.
So sick.
Yeah, they're not even off to use that one as Jubei goes for the TP out as well. Damn, Flea held that right to the end. He's at 8 HP.
Yeah, that's a pretty Chad play.
Jeez.
I think, so Yamson, we see him, like, he TP top, and he literally walked from top to bottom. And it's like, it's not that great a spot to be in.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying that, yeah, it's like seeing him run all the way back across the map, and like Warlock's able to stay here perfectly fine. You still have like this Legion that's about a half level ahead of him, but it's feeling like Boris got himself a little bit of a lifeline in this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this PLCS is pretty on par with the Luna. Man, mids have so much farm now. They just walk around collecting Easter eggs, like these bounty runes and water runes, and just kill camps.
Ooh, Coil down bottom, chase for the kill. Zero goes down. So yeah, the last couple of minutes have been great so far for Simply TOOBASED. Making those moves, buying some space for their carry. They're doing it.
And Envy's already going to jungle. I think, like in my head, because I played with Envy for a long time, right? So basically what he's thinking is, the Dire jungle is a lot better than the Radiant jungle right now. Like all the camps are really close together, which means you farm a lot faster. So if he like maxes Glaives, he can just farm really fast in jungle. And I was trying to say this before, but like when you're dealing with these timing heroes like Alchemist and PL, a really common mistake is that players will try to run at them too soon. Like the only way you can run at them is if you hit your own power spike.
Right. That makes sense. And hit that power spike super hard.
Exactly. Like you can only, like Dota, you have eco resources on the map, right? So the only time you're stronger than someone is if you create sort of like some sort of imbalance in the position. And like you need to like have that imbalance before you can push forward. If you like push forward with like the same amount of strength, like it's sort of a coin flip, right? Like you don't want that. You want to hit these timings, item timings, level timings, whatever you think about.
Okay. Well, it'll be something to watch for. They're making some of those stacks in the jungle form as well as the orb comes over. Jube securing it. And they're actually even just farming up these camps themselves right now on the two supports. Very interesting. It's been a very, very passive start to this one.
This is
obviously
wild.
it's crazy. Just AFK farming.
I think we'll see Voicebear getting smoked to bottom after he clears this wave, or they should. Like, they have a smoke line. This Warlock's just sitting bottom. You should kick this guy out and put pressure on bot tower. PL's jungling.
Well, we'll see if they decide to make that move. In the meantime, Envy's finished off his Mask of Madness, also has Possessed Mask in the inventory flying out to him. Both carries got one of those.
Yeah, that is the best item in Dota right now, I think.
What about Chip Vest? I love that one. I love Chip Vest.
Chip Vest is also really good. Yeah, Envy's going straight for the Mask of Madness. So we see the smoke to bottom, but they decide to turn around to mid. I'm not too sure about this. I feel like it's sort of low percentage to kill this PL. But what happened is their movements are being messed up right now. What they needed to happen was they needed Envy or the Winter Wyvern to take mid so they could connect on bottom. Okay. Instead, PL makes like a really smart decision. He just pushes in the mid wave and they have to show to defend it or they wouldn't connect the gank.
Well,
bot lane anyways.
They're going to go for it. As up top, that X system was used. Jube brought down low. The duel is going to be dropped out. And Zero gets a little bit of damage for himself as topside Black and Yellow were able to dodge the gank, but they did already lose that tier 1 tower. So likely going to see this traded off. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Down bottom, it's still a lot of health left on this tower.
And it's really scary pushing these towers in a new patch. Like the TP scrolls can come from anywhere now.
Yeah.
It's so far.
They have a Seek in the area on this Void Spirit ready to go. Orchid is about halfway to completion. What an interesting item choice. Is this the new way to play Void Spirit?
I think Brown Boots Orchid for Spirits is pretty good. I think especially like, if you look at how mid has changed this patch, there's a lot less rotating and a lot more like, I have so much mana and the rune spawns so often that I need to shove the wave and farm neutrals. So it's the same way, you're trying to look to hit a strong item timing as well.
Okay.
So I sort of like it this game, honestly. Their kill deck's awkward for a while, like until Legion and Lion have Blinks. But with that said, like Lion's actually really farmed. He's getting close to that Blink Taker.
Yeah, that's crazy. 10 minutes, 1,500 gold in the bank. And, well, they are still doing a lot of damage to this mid-tier 1 tower, down to 400 HP with the catapult still working on it. And you can see Envy wants to stay up top here in this jungle. It's really interesting because I felt like last patch, so much of what we saw was like, you know, carries leaving the top side of the map if they're on Dire and then taking over Radiant jungle instead. I guess that maybe, like you're talking about, this newly conceived map changes, it's more valuable staying on your own side of the map.
Yeah, when you said that, it actually made me think of something. Like, the camps are like, I think they're easier to defend now. I'm not too sure. I think it's... Actually, I have no idea. I can't think.
The map changes. It's so weird. Everything's
different.
No,
like No, it happens though. Like they move one camp over, and all of a sudden you want to fight for your area more than you want to take over your opponents, and like, or one side is like better because of it. But like I can't visualize it because my brain doesn't work properly. Like
okay, none of ours do. This is the Dota way.
Hey, they're exoing mid. The stars are already really low, and they have no glyph.
Have pressed the attack. Tries to go in, wanting to defend this. A bold move. They do have Winter's Curse and Cold Embrace, so trying to keep this tower alive. I mean, you know, once this tower is gone, it just gives up so much map control, but it's hard to defend against this Monkey's ulti. And Coil's going to be used. They have to press the attack, take it off immediately after that stun. I Annihilate. The Warlock ulti goes down, connects onto the Void Spirit, but that's it. And now the chase, looking for more duel and finger use. They take down Monkeys forever. They lose the tower, but win the fight.
And that was the first Rock and the Exo committed to that fight. I think I see this a lot in like, I don't want to say like the not top, these aren't low level games, but like the not top tier games. It's very I want to say like lazy with how you commit to actions. Like when you're playing Dota, like if you look at like your series of objectives you're supposed to take, like mid tier 1 is a really big objective, right?
Yeah.
Which if you look at it from like far away, it means that you should commit a lot of resources to get this objective. But how they try to take the objectives is they try to walk up from the front in vision and hit the tower. Right. And if the enemy team reacts to that, like you're gonna have a bad time versus eco resources. Like when you're taking this mid tower, you should think about committing more to it. Like they should have smoked around. They had Koyo, they had Rock, they had Exo. If they smoked around, placed a good ward, and then jumped the heroes and took the tower, like that's the correct amount of commitment for going for this type of objective.
Right.
But instead, like, they're sort of lazy with their play, right? And they get punished.
That's a good point. Yeah, and it's really interesting, too, because you have this Legion Commander, which, again, so much of this hero's value is this press the attack that immediately cancels out an entire ulti that you used in the puck coil. So something to watch for him. Black and yellow now. 5-person smoke up. They want to run, and it looks like towards mid, doing the play that you felt like Simply Two-Base maybe could have done themselves.
I really like this. They might catch this PL here. Yeah, PL's dead.
Hex. Chase, yeah, they got him. Everything used, duel afterwards. No, the silence came out, but nonetheless, they still find that kill.
And I like this. This is the correct way you want to commit to these objectives. Like, even if they don't go for this mid tower here, like your enemy has resources down, right? You have an imbalance on the map. They don't have Rock, they don't have Exo. How can you use this imbalance to your advantage? What they do is they use the smoke, they wrap around the tower. It's not like some casual, oh, they don't have spells, let's walk up, hit mid-tower, get spammed out for 40 seconds, take a damage, lose a bunch of resources, and don't get anything. Instead, they kill the enemy carry, they move every hero on Radiant to the middle of the map, so Envy has free farm over the entire map, and as a result, you can see they go 3k gold. It's a really, like, it's a very Envy way of thinking. Like, it's very good, I think.
Yeah. Oh god, these wards, they just give so much vision. Somebody's dead now for sure, and it's going to be Warlock to start. Can they find anybody else afterwards? PL showing up to this one, but again, Winter's Curse going to be used. Thinking about chasing this Annihilate. He gets 2 now with the silence and the coil. Toss in afterwards onto Monkeys, trying to blow up 1. They've already taken down one of the supports. Jubei now in that cold embrace, but the chase is coming. Trying to take down Zero. Can he get the TP out? He will complete it. So the final tally ends up being 2 dead. Coil used, still Envy farms on the other side of the map.
Under attack.
They are getting both Bountoons and Radiant, which is pretty good for them. I think the idea from Dire was very good there. They have a ward, they want to camp it.
Oh, Envy's gonna he's gonna kill the bounty rune with his illusion.
Classic.
Nice.
Man, this Luna farms so fast. Just Mask of Madness, fast Manta, and maxing out the second and third spell.
Yeah.
She's pulled 2k ahead of PL, and PL only has 1 death, or 2 deaths actually, the one early one. And PL's like, he's a pretty fast farming hero.
Right. Well, and I mean, obviously, Possessed Mask help, but the Mask of Madness sort of makes up for that if you don't find that item. You know, and any stat-based item at that point is probably almost as good.
You know, I was theory crafting the Luna hero versus the PL hero, but apparently it might just be you ult-farm him and you get Butterfly and you hit a timing, and PL can't deal with Butterfly. So yeah. Sort of excited to watch this game more now because I want to see this PL hero lose. I keep losing to it in bombs.
Let's see if this is the answer. It's true. And the thing that's going to be interesting though is that also Simply Two-Base, they have the DP. They've got, you know, the golem from the Warlock as well. So a couple of like BKP piercing disables that don't care as much about the evasion. So maybe they also have a counter answer. We'll see how it ends up working for them. But 2,000 gold lead now. Luna close in that 10K net worth mark, immediately going into the BKB afterwards.
Oh, switches it for the Dragonlance as you say that, because
all right,
you gotta be greedy.
That's the caster curse. It's the way
it
of
is.
They have Blink on Lion, though. Maybe a chance to go here. I think that this is Legion Blink coming in as well, so double Blink Dagger reveal in the cards.
And I think, like, one of the main stories of this game is that Yamsum is just so much more farmed than his tiny counterpart. I think a lot of this is like how to distribute in resources around the map. Like if you look at Tiny's heat map for the last like 5 minutes, I think because of how they push mid tower and how they try to defend mid tower because of the pressure from Dire, he's just been sort of standing mid, like reacting, or like trying to camp them as they push the tower. He hasn't been getting to do anything. Meanwhile, like when the Dire go for this move, like Lion he's going for the move fast, he's in the move, they kill someone, and then, you know, that's not a lot of time wasted. He can spend more of that time pushing side lanes, getting more farm, or just like, you know, taking the kill for making the move.
Yeah, and that gives you so much more space towards this this big item that's going to be pretty game defining here now as we move towards that mid lane. Envy, the one that's out front, everybody else smoked up on the other side, hiding, waiting for a response, and Monkey's going to give it to him at least a little bit with the Crypt Swarm, but they are farming out the rest of the map on simply 2 base. It looks like they're willing to let this tower go.
And again from Dire, like they are going for this mid tower, you see them smoke around. Make sure you're actually just casually hitting this with the creep wave. If they spam it, you kill them. And as a result, like you save a good like 30-40 seconds instead of them like sitting there spamming it. You're using 5 heroes, you're only using 4.
Right.
And that leads to just a better map situation for you. They steal the bounce room. It's looking pretty good for Dire.
Have full vision in this area though. Warlock nearby. They drop down a sentry ward already. They're kind of surrounded, but in a weird way. If they group up together now, you got to be careful about those big ultis coming from simply 2 base. But it looks like their positioning is just super solid. They've got defensive supports on both sides. I'm calling Zero a support right now because that's what this Legion feels like at this point in the game. Not because of low farm, but just, you know,
I think you'll pretty much just see Dire control two lanes right now. I think Envy should cut this bottom wave. And so, I think someone needs to run bottom and push this. This is 3 range creeps. Yeah, Envy's going to go do it. And they will farm more of the map if they're controlling mid and bottom. Because it's not like Radiant has any Roshan threat. They have a PL carry. I mean, they can pop Exo, but you will lose the fight if they go there. If you've popped Exo and you're hitting Roshan. Because it becomes like you're sort of on a timer in the fight. As soon as Exo starts getting low, they're going to engage on you. You're going to lose the fight.
Yeah, that's true. And that's something to watch for, definitely. I think teams have gotten better and better at, like, well, yes, you can't send your courier into Rosh anymore. You know, there's ways that you can go and check that out to make sure it's not getting sneaked either. But at least for now, underneath a ward, this is where things could get a little bit scary for black and yellow.
This is crazy.
This is a really big move coming from all of them, trying to catch. They find the backlines, take down Jubei. And is this going to open up Rosh for them?
I think the Roshan's too hard to do still, but it is a lot of space on the map, and what should happen now is that Radiant should get someone bottom, probably walk instead of TP, and push that lane all the way out, and you've regained map control. It's such a weird sequence there, like, black and yellow, if they waited 30 seconds, they had pressure on the tier 2 bottom, Envy is going to match the next wave, and like, someone would have to react to bottom, and then you can pierce into your own jungle. Instead, like, they literally just walked 4 heroes, single file, into their own jungle under vision. Like, that was a really weird sequence of events.
Oh, and now they're dewarding one, but on the other side, Zero gets caught. Decide to chase forward, get the coil, it's snapped. Oh, they got them both! Oh my god, the winner's curse, though. Poor Annihilate gets absolutely demolished. They're able to dodge away from that Spirit Lance. So you can see simply 2 base, they lose 1 for 1, and he dies. Fatal Bonds. Holy moly.
Just the wagon.
Jeez, okay. You know, that was so interesting, too. It almost looked like they forgot that there was a high ground there or something, you know? Like that walking single file in, because that ward was so good.
It was super weird to watch, honestly. And I think Jubei actually could have saved the Void Spirit. I mean, that's like more on Void Spirit because he's run towards the Winter Arven. Right. But I don't think they realized he's going to take so much damage from the Fatal Bonds. Empyrean with the max Fatal Bonds and just on the wagon, it does so much damage.
Yeah.
Well, it was smoke up from Dire. No rock. DP showing bottom with no mana. He has a Holy Locket, new meta.
Nice.
I like the smoke. They're just going for the bounce rune. You know, Annihilate's probably going to walk up and try to take it. Oh, Yamson just jumps him. I like it, I like it. Big Eclipse, 2 beams, but you know, gets the job done.
Easy peasy. That's what you need it for. Well, they do get the puck kill. Does not have buyback and wouldn't want to use it anyways to try and contest Roche if they decide to go for it.
Eternal Envy has a really good spot. When you get to these positions with Manta, you're just going to cut every wave. Think if you do it nicely with Dragonlance Manta, you can actually cut both mid and top wave. But instead you just obviously like be safe, cut the one wave. And that gives you a lot of map control again.
Well, some interesting things are coming online now. Lion has the shard, so the triple mana drain and BKB as he does it. So they've got a good answer now for some of these illusions that get thrown around. But the biggest thing to me is just how freaking farm this Luna is. I mean, we talked about it earlier, but 1,500, 4K almost ahead of that PL at this point, and it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon.
And I really like his build, to be honest. I like the Manta Dragonlance into the Satanic Butterfly. I think going for BKB this game would actually be a mistake, because you have a Legion save, and if you have Satanic, like, you're not going to die this game. They don't have any burst damage on Radiant. It's only this one tiny toss combo, and that's not enough to kill, like, a Dragonlance Satanic hero.
It's true. DD for the puck.
Oh, wow, he has Satanic already on Luna.
Yeah, Mask of Madness disassembled.
Fat.
I mean, he's already partway towards the butterfly, too. That Mask of Madness disassemble. We haven't seen a lot of that in a while, but look out. Jump in. Flea want to find him. Be a little bit quicker on the fingers there. Looking for it. Chase down maybe Jubei. Another round catching Annihilate. And the follow-up Impale, but living through it, at least for the moment, not enough. Annihilate gets demolished. Monkey's forever going to pop that Exo. Envy down super low. Is he going to go down the Warlock ulti afterwards? Trying to live through it, but it's not going to be enough. He bought out for that one. 4 dead. Black and yellow losing more. Uh-oh. Howie, what happened?
Alright, I said Luna can't die if you have these items, and then he just instantly dies. I don't actually know what did so much damage.
Resistance not on Satanic anymore. Oof.
Yeah, it had to just be the PL shard doing too much damage there, right?
Yes.
I actually don't know what happened in this fight. I don't get the fight recap. Well,
if you click, you could. Oh, we can't click on the death summary for Luna either.
Okay, I don't know how this stuff works, but
it won't let me see.
Yeah, no, because that fight started pretty well. They got the curse off. I think what happened is like they spread out and they're under Radiant Vision. Like they backed up to the high ground, but then they like it's sort of like an awkward like half retreat, half jump sort of deal.
Yeah. And
then now like the Roshan's just dead because the heroes on Dire can't contest.
Well, again, living up to the caster curse idea. You love to see it. Zero goes in for the duel, so they're going to give up 1 for this guy. And will they be able to get any retribution on the Radiant? Does not look like it. Still a very farmed Luna, and he does have that shard that you were talking about.
Did the Legion have the shard for that fight? Like, did he give the Luna magic? Because I thought that he didn't need BKB because, like, you know, Legion saves him, he gets magic immunity, pops Satanic, but now he's going for the BKB, and his build looks super ugly. Like, you can't have Dragonlance Satanic BKB.
That's a good point. Yeah. Dude, the greed, it comes back again. It all comes back to that.
Like, I think once you get the Satanic, you're committed. Like, you have to go for Butterfly now. But, you know, he'll have his idea.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Ooh, finding themselves the Wyvern yet again. Press the attack, not going to be enough. They take him down.
They need to run. They're going to get caught here.
Chase. Can they get him in time? What do they have left in the tank? Not going to go for that one, actually. So a little bit of hesitation being shown. Puck without a blink, only the Yule's Witchblade. Opts to make the safer play.
Honestly, that's probably the right decision. If they coil him there, he can just get a Legion save. You don't even have to break the coil anymore. You just you heal him and he runs out while magic immune, so you don't take the damage.
Oh, nice.
And then they didn't have Rock or Exo, so I like that decision making by Radiant was very good, I think. And Boris, he's caught up a lot. I think it was like 5k down on the Luna. Now he's only 3k down with an Aegis, and he's looking to his timing. Once he has this heart, like, you have good tools to deal with the PL, but I'm telling you, this hero shard is just so broken. It's the most cancerous thing in Dota right now.
You can see that the Nether... oh, Hex, hold on. Chase down. Amson, lots of damage out there. Boris starting to beat in the Amson, able to get him. Warlock ulti afterwards. Look at this damage out. but the press of the attack able to just absolutely shred through this PL force, trying to live through it. It's Aegis and round number 1. Can they take him down here? Eternal Envy continuing to beat into Monkeys Forever, but look at the exorcism damage to the duel. They try and make it work. It's not going to be enough in the end. Another round of the turn. They've got the shard working. How strong is PL? Can Boris do it to him? They need a couple more hits. Press the attack going to be used. They kill off the PL. And one last round, the Warlock goes down. They're able to find themselves the Tiny. The pendulum switches, and Black and Yellow find the finish.
Yeah, that was a really well-played fight. I mean, they used 3 buybacks there, but that was the correct play for sure. They killed 5 heroes and an Aegis, and I want to shout out Zero. Like, his buyback, like, he's been playing really selfless this game, but that buyback was super clutch. He just got the heal onto Eternal Envy, and then he duels the DP, and they turned the fight just with his buyback. And, I mean, 2 others, but his was really good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what you need to do, right? Buyback is super important. And now, again, it doesn't feel like the game's been, like, blown completely wide open, but I don't know. What do you think of the current state of the game now that Envy's gone into that BKB? And
he got Paladin Sword. They
wow.
got the Cloak of Flames. Those are the 2 items you want versus PL. Okay. And something I noticed in a fight is, I think when you beam, the shard makes you lifesteal a lot from Satanic, so that's sort of interesting.
Yeah,
that's a nice touch. I think some European players telling me that like the OP Luna build is you get a rapier with a shard, and you just keep beaming from far. So maybe we'll see some of that this game.
That's a chance. Can't quite beam as from far away as last patch at the very least, but nonetheless is something to watch for. You know, if there's one guy that I'm fine with getting a rapier, it's Eternal Envy.
He has the most experience.
It's true. Absolutely. Well.
Ooh, DD bottle for MV2.
Okay. They're gonna try and
make
no rock
move. Or Exo still.
Chance. Eul's Scepter, not the real one. Tries to run in. Coil gonna be used. Miss completely. Envy slowed down a little bit here, and you can see it's a little bit scary. In a moment's notice, it could all turn around. Ooh, Enchanted Quiver too. It's like, how many of these good items can you have at once? He just wants all of them.
I think you give that to Wyvern. It's so fun to play with.
I need you to not talk about Wyvern anymore. I'm still remembering when you destroyed me mid as Winter Wyvern. So yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
That was a fun game.
That was not a fun game. It was the worst
not a fun game.
3,000 gold lead, Black and Yellow. Gonna try and make the move now into the jungle. It feels like they can kind of just play a little bit bullying style now. Every time they move in, Simply TOOBASED has to run away.
I feel like TOOBASED, like, they can try to take the right fight. Holy Lock on Warlock as well. Okay. But they have to take on their terms. Like, they need to realize that they only lost the last fight because Star used 3 buybacks in their area. Like, if they take a long fight where PL is able to keep throwing out these lances, like, they can definitely still win a fight. But at the same time, like, somehow, like, Envy's pulled 6k ahead of this PL. Like, he was up 5k, went down to 3k, now he's 6k ahead, and PL's item timings are really slow. Like, I'm not too sure what happened.
Yeah, it's felt like you know, obviously the lost fight hurts, and then beyond that, maybe just the map movements of Black and Yellow not giving him access to the farm that he would normally want.
Yeah, I think it's very constricted. Like, what's happening is, like, Black and Yellow, like, TOOBASED, they're a less experienced team, right. Even more so with the departure of Z-Freak. So I think, like, I've played on some of these teams or, like, coached on it. Like, if you're less experienced, what happens is, like, someone makes a call, it's like, go to this area and take it, and, like, what happens is everyone just runs to that area, and they don't take the farm along the way and get the map state into a good spot. It becomes really hard to call on that sort of team. So I think what needs to happen is, like, they need to, like, they're making good calls, they're taking good fights, they're good players, but they need to find a way to, like, play their own game while still working as a team, and that's like what separates these tier 1 teams.
Interesting.
Like, you see Secret, like, they move all over the map, they farm everything, but it looks like they're playing super aggressive, but they're, like, keeping up their own farm at the same time.
Right. Yeah, recognizing the sort of reason for the call, but still being able to get what you need.
Exactly. It's like, you know, a call's being made, you do everything in your power to help it, but as you're doing that call, you're eking out every advantage you can along the way, right?
Yeah.
Like, the call's like, okay, I wanna kill this tier 1 tower. Like, that's like the earlier call. And how the players reacted was, okay, I'm going to walk up and exo and hit it from the front.
Right.
But on a better team, they'd be like, okay, we want to get this tier 1 tower. I'm going to pop a smoke and make this happen. And, like, that's the difference there, right? Like, that's what Dire did this game. They popped these smokes, they made it happen when someone makes this plan. It's very hard to make a, like, complete plan in Dota because there's so much stuff going on. You can't be like, I want to get this tier 1 tower, come to me here, TP here, smoke this, go along this path. Like, it's a lot of planning for one person. But if, like, you all work together and do it, like, you can come up with really cool plans in Dota.
Right. Well, and that's what you need to do, and what we've been seeing from Black and Yellow so far. Really clear ideas for where they want to go, what they want to accomplish. And it's led to a 6,000 gold lead now with a smoke up back behind Envy. We'll see if they try and meet up with simply TOOBASED. They could do an Envy take the tower and then TP over to Shrine play or something, but they're looking like they're going to take this fight without him. Hex comes out, able to control, good amount of damage. iAnnihilate's there as well, though, looking for a chase down. They have the Coil Winner's Curse only onto two rather, and afterwards, trying to blow up this Void Spirit, trying to jump away. Envy catches back up with the team, but they blow up the Void Spirit. So Black and Yellow lose 2 with that smoke move. Not what they would have wanted.
Yeah, they got tier 2 bottom, but like the plan is like Luna shows so sort of unexpected, and then you jump them in a good position for you, and even though you're down resources to start a fight, like you have time to make it happen.
Oh, toss back.
Good toss back.
Envy gets the Force Staff out of there, tries to live. Annihilate not going to give him the Purge, and that forces out the BKB with the turnaround. Boris takes down the tower, but they were able to find one. Fatal Bonds is connecting onto all of these heroes. Zero dropping very low. Can they kill him off in time? Another Avalanche toss combo. They killed off most of them, but Envy still standing tall in the midst of all of this. Don't really have good answers for this super duper farmed Luna. And they are able to trade in the end as the DP died, but Boris still going in for more. They take him down as well. And now all these illusions getting spammed out. Jube nowhere left to go. The choke board by iAnnihilate's almost going down, able to live through it. Another round of the toss flee somehow finds Envy in that. No more mana underneath the tier 4 towers. You can't stop the PL. This hero is insane. Why does it exist? And the 3-man tip afterwards, simply TOOBASED.
That was a really... I mean, obviously, it's a very good sequence of events for them, but it's really smart how they punished that. Like, they identified that Luna was showing bottom, so when they got poked mid, they immediately jumped on the Dire team. They got a couple kills there, and they just snowballed it, and they're going for throne.
Oh my god, they want to get this buyback.
This is TOOBASED, you know?
Simply TOOBASED. They're going in. Look at Flea, he's just got his tree and punching the slowest punch in the world, but they're going to probably need an Envy buyback for this? I mean...
Oh, he definitely has to buy back.
All right, there it is. Goes for the buyback. Boris backs out a little bit, but they're not leaving.
That's really smart. Like, they said the puck to get the top tower, because the only reason they're hitting tier 4s is to force the buyback.
Right.
Because if you only hit tier 4s, I'm sure you're fine stacking 2 racks so Luna doesn't have to buy out. Instead, they get the Luna buyout, and they get, like, a lot of damage on tier 3 top. I think we're going to have a bit of downtime, so I want to talk about Dire's play there. Because it starts with like Envy hitting the tier 2 bottom, and they're trying to go on mid. And what you're trading is like, the enemy doesn't know you're coming because you have like your strongest hero showing. Right. So you're supposed to like get a good jump on them. But what ended up happening is they jumped Radiant on Radiant side of the map. Like, it wasn't a good engagement. They weren't near a shrine, they weren't near a tower. So Envy couldn't get there fast. You had to like run there sort of slowly. When you jump them, you have to like burst one target and sort of reset the fight and wait for your Luna. Instead, like, they jumped and they committed too hard and they lost 2 heroes before Envy could even join the fight. It's like, it could be a cool call, but it requires like a lot more experience and teamwork and just like doing these calls and failing at them over and over before like that sort of call will work. And I like the try, but it just ends up with this one call from Dire leads to them losing like 7 heroes in a set of racks and a Envy buyback. Like, this is real rough.
Yeah, well, and now they go for the smoke out play, but it's really hard for them to contest, and this is that one that's so important. Second Roche.
Cheese and shard, man.
I don't know. This is scary. They're gonna throw out the Lucent Beam, start to drain out some of Envy's mana.
And I want to say, like, this Luna build, it's, I don't know, I can't...
He's going straight Rapier afterwards.
I like the Rapier, but going to Pike after Satanic feels weird now, because what you want to have is you want to have Satanic Butterfly Rapier. Like, you want these 3 items in your inventory, but now you have this like Hurricane Pike.
Oh, stun. The rest of the team behind him. Boris, they're looking for the jump now. Pops that Manta. Silence afterwards. Rock thought about going, but the great winner's curse. Jubei found him on the side, and he doesn't get it off. Has to buy back now. Wants to get into this fight. Yamsum down very low. Not able to get anything. Fingers an illusion. And in the meantime, with Roche going down, they're going to get the lift up. Aegis on Boris. Triple kill for him. Give him some more. As they chase down one by one, Envy nowhere left to go. Doesn't have anything left in the tank. Ultra kill for Boris. Give that man a rampage. Boris, GG is called. And Simply TOOBASED come in and knock down Black and Yellow. What a play.
So based.
Oh, God. That was really good stuff. Aui, I mean, you know, we talked about how good this was looking for a little while for the Luna, things looking solid. Still, it doesn't feel like there's an answer for this PL. It's too strong.
Yeah, I mean, like, they had a decent idea, but like the team's not behind it. Like, what needed to happen for Black and Yellow to win this game is that Luna is super fat. You've identified that Luna will 1v5 this game, which I think is possible. So she needs to build items that help her scale, and then you need to itemize in a way to also help her scale. Like, you're playing, trying to play 1v5, but a Zill Solar Crest, they don't have a Vlad, they don't have anything to make this Luna really strong. Not even like a Glimmer Cape or anything. So what ends up happening is, like, this Luna, whose itemization also did 0 damage, like, he's eventually going to run out of steam, and like the net worth can't carry him through the fights. And, you know, Simply TOOBASED, they capitalized on that. They played the fights well, they took the right engagements, and Boris, like, he was behind the net worth from the enemy carry, but his fighting was extremely good, and he just ends up carrying this game. Also, PL's broken.
PL's broken. That's the takeaway. I think it's good. Man, a really exciting result here. Simply TOOBASED, the team coming from Div 2 and able to take down the Black and Yellow squad that's, you know, been getting a lot of hype built around them. It's a new patch. It's a new day. DPC got all the action here. We'll be back in just a few for game number 2. But first, we're going to head to a break, and then afterwards, panel's going to break it all down. See you then.